Welcome to the wonderful world of Task 3 in your maths folio. Here, we're going to do something a little bit different. So we're going to continue working on our model. We have two things that are going to influence in our model. We have the amount of milk made due to the cow's pregnancy, which is in this equation. We have the amount of milk that's produced due to the variation in the food. Good food in summer, but maybe not quite so much in winter, or whatever the equation suggests. So up to task 3, and asks us on a coordinate, accurately draw these two graphs together and compare. It should say the word and compare them. So I'm just going to add that in. I think it says that on your document, maybe. So we're into Desmos and we've got two graphs. I've got two graphs here and I'm going to compare them. Let's just say this one was the graph due to pregnancy and this was the graph due to good food. Okay, so by comparison, first of all, we'll look for some things that are the same. So although your graphs vary between 1 to 12, mine are repeating after about 6 because of this number. However, I can clearly see that both these graphs have the same period. So the factors due to the milk production due to good food and pregnancy both repeat over 12 months. In my graph that you're looking at, we can see it repeats at 6 months, but you would have a comment that it repeats for 12 months. This is what we mean by putting side by side and comparison. I can see that in my case, the food production has a higher average. So there's over the year, the food production has a higher average, but has less variation, less amplitude than the production due to pregnancy. The pregnancy has a overall effect of anything up to 4 litres per day. And at the start of the year, the production due to food is dropping to a lower level. At the same time, the production due to the pregnancy is growing. So we're looking for a few little sentences like that, maybe a few points explained. In particular, this part over here. This to say when the milk production due to the food is increasing and getting higher and higher is actually at the same time as the production due to pregnancy has got down into a negative value. So that's what we mean by comparing amongst the two. A few comments about why they're different. When is one stronger than the other? Okay, we're just pausing or not pausing. Let's continue on with this question. Now ask for us to add those together to look at the total production. So we'll go up over here. Now, if you've set them up nicely like this, adding them together is no problem. Now, there wouldn't be someone talking in class who wants to get their name put on the internet forever, would there? Okay, now I'm not interested in the other two anymore. They're only there to give me the information to make the original graph. Everybody watching needs to understand that your graphs have different numbers here. Your graphs have different numbers. So let's have a look. I want to make this so I can see a little bit better what's going on. So I'm heading over to the spanner. X is going to be at, just -2, maybe 14. The Y is looking pretty good. I might actually restrict the domain as suggested by someone with a D in their name earlier. Okay, and so that way I can have, the graph stop at a certain time and even though it's on the picture. So what we want to do is have a brief description of the overall milk production. Okay. And so this graph will be coming into Word now, and I'll just do this as an example on a blank page. I probably should have cut that last picture out. So overall production, P of T, I know it's going to be X for my picture, equals C of X T Still struggling with the little keyboard. Okay, so let's bring across our graph of the overall production. We'll make a few comments, not too many comments, because I'm not quite sure what the average is. I'm not quite sure what the amplitude is. I can certainly make a few comments. So the highest that this graph is going to reach is about 8 litres per day, 8.5 litres per day, and 0.93, I need you to understand, is near the end of January. The scale on the bottom is at 0, 0 starts the first day in January. Around about 1 would be the first day in February. About 3 would be the first day in, 2 would be the first day in March. Okay, so that's how the scale on the bottom works. Let's just grab this picture. I've done this for a while, so hopefully someone can remind me what I do now. Okay, so I'm going to add a caption. Overall milk production, so it's combining the factors. And we typically do the units, so it's daily production, litres per day versus months on the bottom, on the time in months on the bottom. Okay. The graph in figure 1 shows one of the things that you need to do during a folio, so much different words for indicates or shows or demonstrates the maximum milk production, because early in the year, maximum milk production of 8.6 litres per day. Early in the year, towards the end of January. Okay. The minimum production occurs, etc., etc., etc. Okay, maybe a bit of a sentence here that explains what's going on. The previous two factors are combined together to show the overall milk production for the year. Okay, so hopefully that was a bit of a comment to get people started on part 3. Now we're about to move into the world of sliders, but I'll just pause my video here. So you'd make a reasonable couple of sentences there. Don't go into too much detail. I've gone through that pretty well. When is the milk production high? When is the milk production low? What does that mean in actual real terms? Please remember, my graphs here have got a different B term, different period than your graphs. Okay, signing out for now.